guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz and I'm going vegan while doing things a little extra each time. Today, I'm super excited. We're testing a copycat recipe of Seonkyoung, or you may know her through her show Asian at Home's Korean hot chicken / Korean fire chicken recipe. So I'm starting with making the Korean hot sauce that she makes, and it's soy sauce and then a whole bunch of gochugaru. I did more than she said. She says like a minimum of like 3 tablespoons. I did like 4 and then the rest of that bottle. Then some sugar to balance it out. And then some chicken bouillon, vegan chicken bouillon. A little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and some water. And then we're just going to get this incorporated on the stove in our pot, and we're going to get this all homogeneous. So we're going to bring it to a boil and let it do its thing for about 2 to 5 minutes until, you know, your sugar has dissolved and it's more like a cohesive sauce. And then once that's done boiling and cooking for the 2 to 5 minutes, you can just set it aside. So for the chicken part of this recipe, Copycat, I'm using some Gardein scallopini cutlets. You could probably still use their like lightly fried or like breaded ones, but since we're going to be doing our own coating, I got the scallopini. And then, so what we're going to marinate them in is this vegan buttermilk mixture, which is just some oat milk with some vinegar in it that I let sit aside and get all funky for a little bit. And then we're adding in some of that hot sauce that we made. Ugh, this was so good. I tasted it and it was like, I tasted it ahead of time and it was so good. I just wanted to drink it. So I put in as much as possible that I could spare into this mixture. And then, yeah, we're just gonna get our cutlets in there. I actually also, because I was using a fork to pick them up, which be careful because the Gardein cutlets are a little flimsy, but I did also poke them a little bit with the fork so that some of that mixture would hopefully seep into them. And then we're just going to do our breading station. And so we've got our marinade and then we've got our flour mixture. It's 2 parts, which she explains in her video, and I'll leave her recipe down in the description box below. But there's like Korean fried chicken breading as well as like just traditional AP flour. So I made that and the flour and combined it. I also did a little deviation and added a little bit of breadcrumb just because my scallopini cutlets are so basic and there's nothing going on with them. So I wanted a little bit of extra crunch. But again, that was the only deviation I did. So then, yeah, you just put it from the marinade into the flour, back into the marinade, and then back into the flour. It is a double coat process. That is how you know a fried chicken recipe is going to be super good, because we are all about that coating. Now that they're done, she says to let them sit a couple minutes. So I did. I didn't prep my oil beforehand. I figured they could sit while I got my oil up to temperature. So just used a basic canola oil here. And again, I don't have a deep fryer, so I'm just kind of like doing like a mock deep fry. But just got my cutlets into that and fried until they were golden brown. Now there actually is a good bit of crust on there, but not as much as like when I've done like chicken fried tofu or anything. So I actually would maybe like up the amount of baking soda or baking powder that you put into this recipe. Her recipe is for 4 cutlets. I halved it into 2, but I still think I could have like used more of the baking powder or even the cornstarch to give it like more fluff in the breading. And now we're making slaw to go on top of our sandwiches. I didn't have any Korean radish, so I just used some cucumber and green onions. You could use like regular radish, I'm sure. And then just some coleslaw mixture with some veganize, some apple cider vinegar or whatever vinegar you have. Then some sugar and salt. And you just get that tossed. You could do this ahead of time while your chicken's sitting and your oil's coming to temp. I like a really crispy slaw, so I didn't want to do it ahead of time. I wanted to do it at the last second. But then, to make this a truer Korean fire chicken, we are first, obviously, going to make it the fire part and coat it in the sauce, in the rest of our hot sauce. And then, guys, we're gonna be topping it with cheese. Ugh. You didn't think it could get better, did you? But it does. So once I dipped my chicken pieces and got them fully coated, I topped them with a little extra sauce because there can never be too much spice for me. And then on my foil, I'm adding Violife mozzarella shreds on top. If you had like Miyoko's like sliced mozzarella or any like vegan sliced mozzarella, that would probably be even better. I didn't have any slices, so I just used the shreds. And then we're going to broil it on top so it melts and gets crispy. It's just so good. It gives like this like butteriness to the chicken. And now it's time to assemble. So again, I had a little bit of leftover sauce that I just couldn't add anywhere else, and I didn't want to waste it. I did actually make pretty much the full recipe of the Korean hot sauce because I knew I wanted to use so much of it. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw it on my buns. Why not extra spicy fire everywhere? Then we just place our chicken and then the slaw on top. Everything about this recipe is just so good and cohesive. For the punch of spice that you're getting from the hot sauce to the cooling effect that you're getting from the slaw, it just works so harmoniously. I just couldn't get enough of it. And then that cheese, like I said, it just like really acts as this like buttery blending effect between the two elements. I don't know. Guys, just try this. It's so good. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. For finishing touch, we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of black sesame seeds on there, and you're good to go. Oh my goodness. I mean, I love Seonkyoung's recipes, but this one just like, gosh, it just like blew me away. I love when I'm able to take her traditional recipes and then veganize them for myself. It's great, and I just wanted to share this one with you guys because it's amazing. If you really like spicy food, you will love this. So yeah, I will see you all next time.